Welcome to Mrs. Kennett's Kitchen. We're going to look at soup. When it's cold weather, soup is absolutely fantastic to use up spare vegetables. It's heartwarming, it's full of nutrients and it's cheap to make. So today I'm going to make a tomato soup. So what you're going to need is, and I have pre-chopped already, I've got some garlic, some cloves of garlic, I've got onions, celery and carrots. And then I've got 2 cans of chopped tomatoes and I've got a pint of chicken or vegetable stock. The equipment you're going to need is really easy. You're going to need a saucepan, you're going to need a wooden spoon, and I've also got a hand blender so that I can puree my soup. But if you don't want to puree it and you can have chunky soup, that's absolutely fine. To make soup, there's 4 basic stages. The first stage is the chop stage. So your base to make any soup is always going to be your garlic and your onions. You've got any celery, great. And then the other vegetables. So I'm putting in some carrots. You need to think about whether you want to blend your soup and it's smooth, or whether you want it to have it chunky. So if you're going to have your soup chunky, then the smaller the dice, the better it is. Then you add the flavours. So if you're doing butternut squash, you'd add your butternut squash, or cauliflower, parsnips, whatever you want. Okay, the second stage of making soup is sweating off. Sweating means to cook without colour. So you want all the vegetables to release their sweetness and the natural juices within the veg, and you also want them to go soft. So we need our saucepan, we need a little bit of oil, and sometimes if I'm making a really good soup I want to add butter, because butter is fat and fat is flavour. Okay, I'm going to turn the saucepan onto low and I'm going to add all my veg. So I'm going to give it a stir with my wooden spoon, because I don't want the oil, we've added the oil and the butter to stop the vegetables from sticking. Now to cook this without colour, we don't want it to get really hot, we want it to sweat. So imagine being in a steam room, okay, where your skin goes all, or where you've been in the bath for too long, your skin goes all soft and wrinkly, but your skin doesn't brown, you don't get a suntan from being in the bath. So that's exactly what we're going to do with our veg. So most importantly, we're going to put the lid on. It's on a low heat, and we're going, so number 3, and we're just going to leave this to cook for about 5 to 10 minutes. We'll keep an eye on it and we'll keep stirring it every now and then. Right, this has been cooking for about 10 minutes, so let's have a look. Can you see here? You can see all the steam is appearing. So when I open this lid, you're going to get loads of lovely steam. Okay, so when I spin this round, you can see that the vegetables, you can see all the lovely juice. Oh look, I've steamed up, so let's take them off. So it's all, the carrots are getting lovely and soft and nothing is stuck to the bottom. Okay, so when those carrots are lovely and soft, so if you were doing your big veg like cauliflower or parsnips or butternut squash, this is going to take longer. So this stage, the sweating stage, the second stage, is the bit where you're releasing all the flavour. Okay, because we're doing tomato soup, the carrots are now soft, so I'm going to add in my 2 cans of tomatoes, because my whole family loves tomato soup, and I'm going to add some chicken stock. So I'm going to pour the chicken stock into the can, give it a swirl and tip it in, okay, so that I'm not wasting any of that lovely tomato. Okay, give that a swirl. So stage 3. This is the simmering. So I'm going to bring this to the boil, so it's going to have really big bubbles, and then I'm going to turn it down so it's got small bubbles, and I'm going to get it to cook for about 20 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to put the lid on, conserve the heat and bring it to the boil. I'll show you when it's at simmering stage so you can see what it looks like. Can you see it's bubbling away? So it's not massive bubbles, but just little bubbles on the surface. So I'm going to cook this for about 20 minutes. Then I'm going to blend it and then season it. So the simmering is your third stage. So first stage was chopping, second stage was sweating off to make the vegetables all soft, third stage is adding your liquid, bringing to the boil and simmering. This has been cooking for 20 minutes, so let's have a look. It's boiling nicely. That looks really nice. Can you see how lovely that looks? I've steamed up again. I'll take my glasses off. Okay, right, so I'm going to puree this up so that it goes all smooth. If you love the fact that it's gorgeous and chunky, then that's perfect. Leave this as it is. Season it with salt and pepper, taste it, serve it up, enjoy your soup. I know that if I tell my kids that there's carrots in here, they're not going to eat it, so I'm going to blend this up. Tom is looking at me right now, and he is the cameraman, and he is going, what? Yes, Tom, let's blend it up, you're going to enjoy it. Oh, switch it on. Look at that, lovely and smooth. Okay, so stage 4 is the final stage, which is the finishing stage. So I've blended this up, so I've got a lovely smooth soup. I'm going to season with salt and pepper. I always think with tomatoes you need a little bit more salt than you'd anticipate, because salt is a flavour enhancer and tomatoes can be a little bit bitter. Some people add sugar into their tomatoes to sweeten them up, but in actual fact you just need to add a tiny drop more salt. Okay, so that's all mixed in. Let's give it a try and just see. Oh, that's good. That's really nice. I think a little drop more pepper. Okay, right, if you wanted to finish your soup, the word cream of suggests cream. So this is the time that you'd add your cream. You could add a drop of milk, or you can serve it just as it is. So let's get a ladle. Let's get a bowl. Look at that lovely red colour. I think Tom is going to be very happy. We all like tomato soup. And I'm going to finish mine with some cheese. So, homemade tomato soup.